Abia State.
Yes.
And there's anything that the former governor did right in that state. He was trying to help solve the problem of kidnapping. There was a time it was rampant in the southeast, but it would seem that the southeast governors found some homegrown solution to the problem. Do you think that Nigeria as a country can learn any lesson from that?
You see, I have always faulted that method adopted by the former Abia governor. Abia State was militarized. The problem of kidnapping was not solved. It's a social menace.
When you say it was militarized, what
it was militarized. It's about establishing checkpoints, police, anti-terrorism, and army checkpoints that, you know, of course, scared people.
Did it solve the problem?
It didn't.
Did it bring it down?
I kept saying that kidnapping was not solved. What happened? The fellows there, well, those who survived the onslaught, ran away. And that's what we have now.
They went to other states?
They ran away. They escaped. And those who could pipe low, piped low. And became tools for other purposes.
So, Ubani, let's think deep.
So that problem was not solved. It's a social menace.
It is, absolutely. But come to think of it, they always have a hideout. And they also make use of communication. They are always on the phone, negotiating, talking with family members. Shouldn't we be thinking of ways where we can have, you talked about the capacity of the police or security agencies, lack of equipment to fight such crime. But they make calls, and we still haven't been able to hear of a case where such, or rather, it's not in the news for now, that those were being done by tracing such calls. How can we help ourselves when we have kidnappers who stay on the phone endlessly?
Yes. Some time ago, I think I was talking to the Sun newspapers, and I told them that kidnappers are not lazy people. They are not lazy. A lot of people, when you talk about unemployment and all that, you feel like, okay, fine and good. Unemployment costs this. But there are those who will not do any other thing except crime. Even if you give them all the money in the world, they will use such monies to establish crime industries. So, they think and act fast, sometimes ahead of the security agencies. I am a practitioner and an advocate of security technology. I am very much aware that we can use technology to bring this down. But it will take, of course, a lot of money and a lot of willpower on the side of government to get these things put to use. But let us not play down on sabotage, infiltration, and complicity of security practitioners. Why I raise this point is because I have looked around. When I look at our political actors, state actors, I see kidnapping and kidnappers all around.
How do you mean?
Yes. In 1984, one Umaru Diko, late, was kidnapped. I was a very young person then, so I woke up to hear about kidnapping organized by the state. Sometime in 2003, 2004, there was a conflict in Anambra State, and a sitting governor was kidnapped. So, when the Italian poet and actor Vittorio Alfieri said that the society prepares the crime and the criminal commits it, it gives credence to things like this. So when I look around, I see political actors who engage the services of these young men. in the course of protecting themselves, in the course of intimidating their opponents, in the course of electioneering, and soon after, the boys are dumped.
But in the case
obviously, they will go fend for themselves.
In the case of the elder statesman,
yes,
the news has it that there were suspected Fulani headsmen.
That has been another challenge. When I talked about Milking Hill in Enugu State, drive along that road. I left Nsukka, I think, on Tuesday evening. And while I was on that road, all that was on my mind is, God, take control. Because I know they could come out from the bush and take whoever they see. This thing has been there.
They don't look for specific things.
No,
because we would have thought that by
random
now.
picking. There are a few of them who have the time and intelligence to go get information before they pick up people. But the rest jump out of the street. Whoever they see that makes sense to them is gone. Like when the journalists were picked up, there was no information. They just saw people driving and picked them on a bad spot of the road. It was when they saw certain things in the vehicle that they realized that, oh, these are big fishes, and they could pay money.
So what can we do then to stop the menace?
A lot. Politicians themselves have to purge themselves. Government has to take it hard on politicians who recruit and engage these boys. That is number one. Where we fail, we can make a headway. And these are reasons why when they are picked up, they are either killed or they are left to rot in jail.
What about the
because
laws?
When investigations go on and these boys sink, a lot of them are implicated. So once they pick them up, they waste them.
What about the laws that the states are making? Quite a number of states at some point, given the capital punishment for crimes of kidnapping, even though some states did not agree, but many states followed that path of making kidnapping, something that you serve, you get capital punishment for. Does it help?
Capital punishment has not solved any problem, not even military coups. What has solved military coups is engagement of the people in civil governance. People themselves have agreed that we will govern ourselves. So military coups have become unattractive, not capital punishment.
So you say
armed robbery also, capital punishment have not deterred anyone. This is an economic crime. The society itself has broken down. The value systems have been turned upside down. Even parents and those in government patronize these boys or these set of people. So we need to, it's a whole system that needs to be overhauled while we are using the law itself to curtail as much as we can. We need to overhaul our value systems. We need to check the kind of people that take onto the political terrain, those who take government, those who claim to be custodians of government. Many of them are complicit of all these shenanigans.
Talking about solutions to all of this, which is very key here in closing, we have to also talk about, we can't run away from what Mark proposed, talking about stringent and stiffer penalties meted out. Yeah. We've also had cases of people asking for ransom as low as some couple of recharge cards.
That's correct.
So, and we've also seen some insider, having a hand in most of these kidnappings.
That is correct.
What do we do apart from knowing that we have to equip our security outfits?
Yes, of course, the law has to be strong enough. Nobody can take that away, and nobody can argue that. The law has to be strong. But we also have to consider those who wouldn't be scared by the law. Fine and good. What do we do about them? And how did they get there? These are all the areas we need to look about. I agree that we need to strengthen the laws on such crimes. We need to enforce them. We need to equip the police with training, with human capacity development, and equipment and all that, and retraining. And even insurance and social security, because the men on the street, of course, have to know that something has their back when they are
Just
taking
in
such
case.
risks on protecting the citizens. So a whole lot of things have to be taken care of. But beyond that, we need to look at the society itself, our value systems. How did these people get there? Who protect them? Who get them out even when they're in trouble? Who engages them? We need to look at all those.
Many thanks for coming on Sunrise Daily today. We do hope that the security outfits and the government and even the National Assembly will be looking at the laws on this to see if we can streamline it and put a stop to this unwholesome menace. Thank you, Chigozie Ubani. He's a security consultant looking at a spate of kidnappings in the country.